Right. So the other day we were again fooling around with Rubik's cubes. So we were, juggling Rubik's cubes, and we were putting Rubik's cubes in bottles, and we were doing all kinds of other things. We were talking about stuff that we could do with Rubik's cubes, like impossible things we could do with Rubik's cubes. And Giuseppe came up with a good idea. So he asked me, well, you can juggle Rubik's cubes, you can juggle, lots of Rubik's cubes. Can you somehow balance a Rubik's cube on your finger? So something like this, right? So that was kind of the challenge. And well, didn't look like it was possible. But then, of course, you kind of sleep on it and you come up with all kinds of ideas. And so let's have a look, right? Can we balance a Rubik's cube on a finger? So what's the first thing that comes to mind there? Well, I'm into juggling. So the first thing that came to my mind was, well, I should really kind of try and spin it on my finger, or at least try to spin it. So something like, I've got this, ball here, and you go something like this, right? With a Rubik's cube. And, well, it seems like it's going to be impossible, but so let's just take it in steps, right? Let's just take it in steps. So what I first want to do is I want to try and actually spin a Rubik's cube just on a table, then maybe on my hand, and then maybe on my finger, okay? So let's just give this a go, and you'll actually find out that when you try to spin a Rubik's cube, that it's pretty much impossible to get this going. You can try as hard as you want. So even if you have a surface with a bit more traction, these Rubik's cubes just won't spin on a corner. It's just, you can forget about it. Why not? Don't know. I've definitely seen cubes kind of spin on a corner. So for example, when I was a kid, I was always spinning these little die. That seemed to work very well. And I actually have some Rubik's cube that spins very well. It's a hollow Rubik's cube. It's got beveled off corners, and let's just see what that does when I spin it. So that spins quite nicely, right? That spins quite nicely. Yeah, so that works. But it's, of course, when you kind of look at it, it's almost like a sphere, right? So that's a bit cheating. Well, here's another idea, okay? So here's another idea. So that's like one of those rubbers you can get in the form of a cube. And what I've put in the back here is just a skewer. And when you spin that, you can actually see that the cube's spinning quite well, right? So spinning quite well. So maybe something like this would work, right? So maybe it's more like speed, right? So speed. So if I just speed this up enough, maybe it's going to work. Well, so here's a Rubik's Cube, and what I did here is heat up a bit of metal and stick it in the back, right? And so we can try to kind of spin this, and it seems to be getting there, but not quite. So even with a really nice surface, it just doesn't want to spin. Okay, so what's next? Well, what I did is I actually beveled off like one of the corners just a little bit. So I kind of heated the corner up and kind of pushed it in, and then I made it a little bit flat. It's not taking too much off, but let's just see what happens when I replace this corner here by that other corner here. So we'll take it out. We'll put that one in. Okay, so now you've got well, the same sort of setup here. So it's spinning quite nicely, and well, we can count this as a success. Okay, and then Giuseppe just had an idea, so he's going to show how to spin it even without this attachment here. Let's see. Poor. Even better. So you can have the cube spinning if you just kind of bevel off a corner a little bit. So that's pretty good. So what else can we try? Well, now you have to get it on the fingertip, right? So we have to get it on the fingertip. So, well, here I've got something that has a corner, which can be spun on my fingertip, something like that. So maybe we can do the same with a cube. Well, maybe this one here. So let's try. I don't think it works. Well, for a little second maybe. No, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. I think what we need is more speed. Okay, so we need more speed. So what we've got here is a Dremel tool, and there's a corner of a cube kind of attached to it. And what I want to do is kind of spin up the cube using this thing here. So let's see. And it works. And that's just a regular cube kind of spinning on my hand. Yeah. Now, can I do this on my finger? Well, I don't know. Maybe I can. But actually, at this point in time, I kind of got sidetracked. And I came up with something a lot nicer. So I'm going to show you this. It's going to be your homework to figure out how I do this, all right?